we are getting ready within the next 9 months to integrate over to Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of that, we're looking to we're looking for a good way to integrate with Rock, with our contacts and that.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, you guys natively do work with them, and one of
Mm-hmm.
the few who do. So that's why I reached out to get some information from
Okay. Yeah. Super. Um, Absolutely happy to help you with that. So I'll make sure that here comes Micah. Hello, Micah.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. So yeah, John just filled me in a little bit. What has you guys looking at us here? You guys are making a move to Rock. So we got John and we got Alan and we got Micah. And who else? Who else is in the office with you there, John?
Yeah, it's just that for now. The rest, I
Okay.
think, we'll pick it up on the recording.
Okay. Super. All right. Yeah. So tell me, I guess, tell me a little bit about. I guess I got two immediate questions. Number one, what are you migrating from to Rock? What CHMS you have in place now?
Well, currently we're using Shelby systems with Arena check-in as far as the
Okay.
integration software.
Yep. Okay. And then from a phone perspective, what do you have in place now that the church is using?
Uh, Shortel, which device-wise, I don't know. I think we're going to be making a shift more towards not actually having physical devices on desks. We'll be
Mm-hmm.
doing more soft phones, and obviously IP telephony across the board.
Yeah.
So we'll be
Absolutely.
replacing
Absolutely.
that system as part of this. So,
Okay. Okay. And approximately how many users do you think you're going to have on that system then?
yeah, that's hard to say at this point. We've got a survey out of who actually wants, is going to want to keep a desktop phone, who's going to want to go just to use of cell phones with forwarding and that. So I don't really have the answer back. Um, it's going to be a couple hundred,
Okay.
but
Okay.
the
We'll
exact
just
number I don't
yeah.
know.
That's fine. That's fine. That's a ball. That's a ballpark. That's good enough for now. It kind of gives me an idea. So yeah. So let me just kind of start with first of all, you guys are seeing my desktop. Hopefully, what I am sharing is the desktop view of our app. This is running in a Chrome browser. It also installs natively on an iPhone and Android device. And all of the functionality that you have at the desktop, you also have in the palm of your hand. And I'll show you more about that in a moment. So most of your users are going to be, they're going to have Rock running at their desktop. If they want to use the virtual phone, turn their computer into the ability to make and receive calls, they're just going to want to make sure that they have the Intulse interface running as well and just enable the virtual phone like this. And now I can make and receive calls using my desktop. We're also going to deliver some call notifications to folks who would be in ring groups for incoming calls. That's going to identify that it's a caller that's in the Rock database and give people the ability to quickly get there. I can show you that in a moment. Any questions about what we've talked about so far?
No.
All right, so let me just generate an incoming call. I'm actually going to move away from this screen so that you can see that you don't have to be. Your users do not have to have that on the foreground for the functionality to work. They can be doing whatever they're doing. We're not going to interrupt what they're working on. There we go. Let's get a call going here. And I need to tell this that I want to show. And this is probably going to be slightly delayed because of the because of the screen share. Where's it at? There it is. You can see here where it says open Rock RMS. It identified the name of the person as they are in Rock, and it gives people the ability to actually click to open that contact in a new tab, or they can click the top of the notification and it will actually take them to the interface that they have running um, on their desktop. Probably this view would be the one that they would have up and running. So there's two different options there on those notifications that are clickable. The whole idea is that you don't have to go searching for somebody in Rock. We've made the connection by the phone number, and people can quickly get there and see, whatever information that they want to find out about that person, very, very quickly. We do have our own communication block inside of Rock that can be added any place that it makes sense for you, and we will, we'll log the call activity automatically to that, as well as any text communications to that as well. I'll pause there and see if there's any questions about that. The other information that we're going to make available is on this call screen. Basically, what you're looking at here is extension monitoring. So your users, based on permission, are going to be able to see the status of other users on the system, if they're on the phone or not. If they're on the phone with somebody that's in Rock, it's going to identify the name of that person as opposed to a phone number, which is clickable. And then we're going to show you the connection status, the primary campus, the record status, and the record type for that person. And then that is clickable to get to that person's record. Again, no need to go searching into Rock and try to find the person who's on the phone. They can quickly get there from that place. The other thing that we help you with is, in the event that there are multiple contacts in the database that have the same phone number, maybe a family shares a number, we're going to identify that here, and you could switch to the other person's record through this interface here. And it's actually Junior who's on the phone. I can click Junior's name and go to his record in Rock, because he's actually the one who's on the phone and where I want to log the call. So that's something that you can do there as well. Let me think for something else here that I wanted to mention. I'm currently recording this call. That is another feature of the system that's available. It doesn't have to be automatic call recording. It can be on demand. And so it can be enabled that when somebody is on a call, if they want to record it, they can actually initiate the call recording while they're on the call. And as I mentioned, all of the functionality that you see here at the desktop, your users are going to have the same access in the palm of their hand. So I'm on this active call. I want to start call recording. Even though I technically answered this call on my desk phone, it doesn't matter. I can work with the call from any of these software access points. I could send this call to my mobile device if I wanted to. I can transfer it using this interface, either on the mobile app or on the desktop. So I have a lot of different options there. So I'll pause there, see if there's anything else that you guys have questions about.
Yeah, I did have a question. Is there a audible notice that the call is being recorded, or is that not something within your system?
You can actually have an audible notice. You can actually have it play when call recording is started. It can actually play an automated recording that says this call is now being recorded, or that type of thing. So there's a lot of different ways that can be handled for sure.
Yeah, that helps in California since it would be a violation of law here if we didn't. So it's something we definitely have to
Right.
have
So
our eye
yeah,
on.
the person on your end would say, "I'm going to start recording this call now," or they could just click start the recording call, and then it could make the announcement, or yeah, whatever. That can definitely be programmed into the system. Not a problem. One other thing I wanted to mention before I go into looking at call logs and SMS logs inside of Rock. I'm not sure who you guys are currently using to do texting, but we are one of the transport protocols available inside of Rock, and we have quite a few churches that are switching to us from Twilio because our fees are lower than Twilio's fees, but we are actually a native transport that is available in Rock. You guys might not be aware of that, but consider that as you evaluate this. That would be something else that we would be able to deliver. Not only native SMS communications from inside of Rock, but all phone numbers that we would host for you would also have click to call and click to text capability. So I can actually click a phone number and initiate a text message from any phone number that I have access to, put a message in here, attach a file or an image, and click send. And I could quickly get that message sent out to somebody. We're going to log that text message over here on the Intulse side. We're also going to log it into Rock as a text message automatically. So the logging in Rock is going to be any inbound and outbound call that happens with somebody whose phone number is found in Rock. We're going to list the day and the time, the type of communication it was, if it was a phone call or if it was SMS. The from and to is going to be the indicator of the direction of the call. And then the message notes, it's going to be basically that this call happened and it was with this person in the organization. So we're going to tag this with the user on your system, their name, their extension, who hung the phone up. They're going to get credit with having had the call. And then if somebody wants to, they can add some notes to that call activity and save them. And then once they do that, it's going to look something like this one that was edited, where there's a note underneath, great chat with Alan. He and his family are new to the area, looking for a church community just like ours. So it doesn't have to be a lot, but it tells people a little bit about, what the conversation was. So that's what the logging looks like. Every phone number becomes a click to dial or a click to text. And the other nice thing about the SMS communications that come in to the Intulse system, they have the ability to be claimed. And so we have quite a few churches that will post a cell number for people to call at the end of a service for prayer, for example, and then they have a prayer team standing by to receive those text messages. And so they would all come in over here like this. They would show up, with a bunch of messages that would be blue with a number inside, meaning how many messages are currently from this person that have not been responded to or looked at. And they have the ability to claim. So I can come in here and I can claim a message. And what that's going to do then is it's going to clearly indicate to everybody else who has access to those messages that I'm responding to that message, that they don't need to worry about it. It's not being missed, and we're not going to duplicate our efforts. And so they can, then I could respond and then I could remove the claim. And then that would give somebody else the ability to respond to that message unless I wanted to stay with it. And then I might want to just continue to engage with this person for as long as they want to with this initial engagement. And then maybe the prayer request that they have is, something that I feel like, oh my gosh, this is really a private matter. and I can mark that conversation as private, which means then nobody else that has access to this to messages from this particular to this number in the church would be able to see that it's a private message and not be able to see any of the communications. So it's a safeguard that we've put in there, and then this can get escalated, obviously, to a pastor or counselor or whatever the case may be. At some point in the future, you could remove the private label. It could get moved somewhere else. You could remove the claim. And so this kind of gives you the ability to control access and interaction there and make it more efficient. So that's a little bit about how the texting would work there. We also have internal chat capability inside of our app. I'm not sure what you guys currently have in place there as far as internal messaging, Teams or anything like that.
Yeah, we use Teams primarily.
Okay, yeah. So you'd probably want to continue to do that. Just as a side note, if there were people who wanted to use their Teams client as their quote unquote soft phone on the Intulse system, we do have capability for that. We do have a Teams integration, and so folks could actually make and receive calls from their Teams client instead of using this interface here or this interface here on their mobile device. So that is an option. We can talk more about that as we kind of move through the proposal process and stuff to see what makes sense for for your folks. So I think that I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed relative to the integration component. We touched a little bit on functionality, but feel free to ask me whatever questions are coming into mind, or if there's specific use case things that you'd like me to speak on as far as the phone system handling them for you.
I think at this point you've given us a good start.
Okay.
We'll sit down as a team and talk about it, and definitely I will circle back with you. My guess is probably early next week, and look forward to that conversation.
Okay.
When do you think you'll be able to get this recording available to me so we can go over it as a team?
I will get this to you as soon as we get done with this call. I will, if I have to, I'll put it. Like you said, I don't know why I wasn't even thinking. I mean, yeah, I'll just send it to YouTube, and as long as they don't have any problems with it, they let me publish it. I'll get you a private link that you can get to it. So I'll work on this right away.
Perfect. Appreciate your